First, investigated the missing transaction data issue. We definitely need to improve Turing and implement solution team suggested. We also need to fix the data we have ingested so far. We need to add all of that in scope of the project, and we need to assess the impact and try to rework the plan. If we have high-level schedule, we need to adjust it accordingly. If we don't, we need to build one. Okay. So yeah, this solves this issue, so that's fine. We just need to assess the impact of that and maybe, yeah, it's tough. But maybe we need some additional resources, because if we were just setting scope to the project right now, and this probably will impact schedule, will impact cost, and we need to do something about that. Meet with senior compliance officer on security concerns. Met. The officer flagged inadequate encryption for PII data and lack of role-based access controls on the data lake. Inadequate encryption for PII data means that any developer that goes to whatever database or whatever else just sees the customer data which is not encrypted, which is basically a violation of at least GDPR, but probably something else as well. So we need to include data encryption for PII data, and and do that as soon as possible to avoid data breaches. Or data leakage. Role-based access is also is also urgent. But maybe we can just, like, in terms of role-based access to data, we can just identify who has access to customer data and to PII. And if we are okay with that, if people who are capable of accessing this data right now have the security clearance for that, then we're good. So we need that later, but maybe we can have some sort of just administrator role who sees the PII and all others who don't see. Or maybe we have different environments, and production environment is all only seen by senior like engineers who has security clearance, and everyone else does not have this security clearance, but they can't access because of the environment's limitations. So somehow do that later, or break into small steps, like, for example, just give access to PII data to employees with, and revoke tweet from everybody else. So maybe we can have two roles for now. admin access to PII. But we need the team to help uh, with solution. Because maybe this doesn't work. Maybe like business stakeholders need access to this PII data. Maybe, I don't know, customer support needs this access, for example. Probably they do. So we need to make sure. Regulatory audits are coming in Q2, and failing compliance could force a project shutdown. Yeah, that's decision needed. Can the security fixes be done in parallel with development, or do they require a full stop on progress? I don't see why they require full stop of progress at all. This is just like DevOps or SRE stuff that can be done in parallel. I hope the team can do that in parallel. But it became that, yeah, the situation became much worse because we are adding scope again to the project, and we were far behind already. So, but this is that's life, guys. Yeah, that's just life. Investigated the third-party integrations with unknown costs, and I've seen that as well, in my life. And in worst case scenario, we spoke with everybody in the business, and no one knows what they are and what this is, and if you shut it down, no one knows what's happening then, because maybe this functionality was developed 15 years ago and people don't work are not with the business anymore, for example, and you have to even like try and find someone who is like in the business for 30 and 15 years. Maybe they can have some sort of clues, or you think that you're a detective at this point. You need to really investigate this issue and find someone who can at least like have an idea of what this might be. So, found two services built under different departments that nobody claimed ownership of. Then we need to stop that. Okay. One service was critical, handling external credit data ingestion. One service was redundant, duplicated existing Azure features. Shut down only the redundant service, saving 25K per month. Oh wow, that's a huge saving. That's good. So yeah, we've tackled this one really really well. Data ingestion frameworks, multiple approaches identifying. Different teams build their own ingestion pipelines instead of standardizing one on one. Yeah, that's not good. The business was providing data in various formats, forcing engineers to adjust for each case. No, this is not the right way. One ingestion framework. Yay! Require data providers to conform instead of adapting to them. Yay! That's good. That's good. Let's do that. Explore additional help for legacy system maintenance. Current state. IT ops handles some L2, L3 tickets, but most fall back to engineers slowing down progress. Options. Hire contractors. Outsource to a managed service provider. Do nothing and accept delays. Awaiting sponsors' decisions on preferred approach. So we're just waiting. Okay. Escalated need for portfolio management framework for priorities. No clear ownership of which reports are the most valuable. Propose assigning a product owner or creating a committee of business stakeholders to define priorities. Sponsor response. The idea was well received, but no immediate decision. Next step. Formalize the request and get business sign off. Okay. Project status update. So we're still there. Cost optimization, improving financials, still behind, but progress accelerating. Stakeholder sentiment. Happy with the cost savings, compliance is a risk. Yeah, we need to solve this compliance issue because this one is big. Team morale improving, clear direction, but security concerns slow things down. Okay. New challenges. Security fixes vs development. Security teams say the project is non-compliant, but halting development could push delivery back 3+ months. That's expected. That's expected. Vendor resistance on standardized ingestion framework. Some data providers refuse to conform to the new ingestion requirements. Force compliance, negotiate exceptions, or delay standardization. Yeah, we need to work with that for sure because, okay, yeah, still unresolved. No clear single source of truth for the governance. Teams are still using different versions of the same data, creating conflicts. Next steps, how do we enforce a strict SSOT approach? Yeah, nice. I tried this to be hard, because the previous runs of the game were too easy, two previous runs, and I tried to make it harder this time. And it is harder now, guys. It is harder. Yeah, and that's more like life. So I'm really excited, really excited. Product management still not confirmed. No clear business sign-off yet on assigning a PO or creating a prioritization framework. Okay, so we don't have this sign-off. Should we escalate this further or wait? Okay, next move. Yeah. So what are we gonna do next? Missing transaction data issue. This we definitely need to fix that. So we are doing one for sure. We are fixing that. Senior compliance officer. We are doing that for sure. We cannot not do that. We can't skip that. We need to be compliant. We have to be compliant. We must be compliant. Third-party integrations with unknown costs. This is now resolved. Nice. Okay. So this is now resolved, which is huge. Data ingestion from us. Multiple approaches identified. One ingestion framework require data providers to confirm instead of adopting them. Let's look at that issue now. Number 4. Um, Vendor resistance on standardized existing framework. So for the standardized ingestion framework, ingestion framework. So for this issue, basically, we have us and we have the vendor of the data that they ingest, right? So we can solve on our side, we can solve on their side, or we can meet in the middle. That's fine as well. So basically, we need to check why they can't use standardized framework. What is the reason for that? Maybe, for example, they can solve this on their side, but they need some money for that because they will hire whatever a technical team to do it for us. Or maybe we can create a separate tool that would somehow morph this data that they are ingesting to conform with the standardized ingestion framework on our side. So basically, they will send the data. Yeah, but I would prefer this to be sent via some sort of API. That's the issue with the banks that I hate. That they are still using some sort of files that have to be processed, and they are sending them via SFTP, and you receive this file, and it's crazy, and the data is bad, and you know. So I would prefer them to just use an API, and yeah, it's the issue is so complex, this one. But okay, let's figure out how we're gonna resolve that one. So first, work with each vendor of the to identify why they want to conform. So we need to understand whether we have carrots, as Trump says right now, right? Whether we can negotiate with them that they are going to conform. because I expect us to be a huge bank, right? They probably want to work with us, and probably we are big client of them, you know. Uh, so yeah, I would suspect. So also we need to work with procurement or whoever is responsible for contract management with these vendors. We need to review contracts and find out whether we have some leverage negotiating conformance to our new standard. So if we can negotiate conformance and say, guys, if you don't do our way, it's our way or highway. And if we are a huge client of theirs, then probably they would say, okay, we'll do that. If we don't have leverage, because this is a critical partner for us and we just have to have their data, we need this data on board, then we will probably just um, compromise and do some stuff on our side. For cases where we can't force them to use our new standard, we might look at some sort of, some sort of feature to morph data into the format we accept. Yeah, so basically they will send it over to us and then we'll morph into the format that we accept and still use our data ingestion framework. Okay, this should do. I don't think we need to do anything else with that regard. Force compliant, negotiate exceptions for delay standardization. Yeah, so we're basically forcing compliance and negotiating exceptions if needed. Governance alignment still unresolved. No clear single source of truth. Teams are still using different versions of the same data. So governance alignment, and if I understand correctly, that's data governance. So for data governance alignment, to we need to arrange a series of meetings with key stakeholders where we discuss this issue and the way and figure out the way to use figure out the way to use single source of truth. So basically, with governance alignment, we can't just use 5 different data sets and hope that everything will work. It won't work. That's impossible. So we need single source of truth, one source of truth. How do we do that? We need to collaborate with teams and figure out why they use whatever they use, and maybe we can define what is the source of truth for us, and then we can actually do something about it. Product management still not confirmed. No clear business sign-off yet on assigning a PO or creating a prioritization framework. Okay. So for this, should we escalate this further or wait? We definitely won't wait. And that's six product management. Mm, we need to escalate it again, and prepare the some sort of description of outcomes of not doing that. So if we fail to understand what is the most urgent thing to do, then probably in 6 months we will deliver whatever we can deliver instead of whatever business needs. That's always the case. If, for example, you are working on um, some sort of set of features and you don't have proper product management in place, or maybe some sort of governance where people can explain how these or that feature supports company strategy or product strategy, then what happens is team decides to work on whatever is easier for them to work on, whatever is clear. Very often, it's not whatever brings the most value, and we need to make sure that we bring the most value. Okay, so let's do another round, and let's see how it goes. So fix missing transaction data, improved monitoring, and what did we do? We implemented automated validation and alerting for ingestion failures. Re-ingested historical transaction data to correct gaps, improving data accuracy. Yay! The high priority customer credit risk report now has 85% data accuracy, up from 60%. Still, 85% is not that great, to be honest. I would expect maybe something like 98%. Then it's probably reliable. Project plan adjustment. Schedule extended by 3 to optimize data fixes. Revised project management plan delivered to stakeholders. High level talent now accounts for ingestion delays and fixes. Okay. Implement data encryption, role based access. Okay. Now we have this encryption in place, and for the PII data storage, two roles, PII access, no PII access. Yeah, and it worked, right? Temporary satisfied. Okay, nice. Temporary satisfied is much better than nothing. But then on full RBAC model later. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine with me. Of course, we will create broad-based access in future to make sure that every person in the company has the right access to the PIA data. That's completely logical, but it's not critical for the project success if I understand correctly. So we managed to save some like time, effort, and resources, which is good. Some concerns from losing access to key data sets. They shouldn't be, because they don't have to access PII data to do their work, because they can just have mock data and work on mock data and work with that. They should not, yeah, they should not have concerns. Plan for full role based. Of course, this is not convenient. So if we're talking like real stuff, right? Imagine you have let's say 1,000 real customers with real data, and you see issues with that data immediately when you are trying to do your work. Or instead, you have 20 mock customers with the data, just random data. In a lot of cases, it's much easier to work with real customer data because you see gaps, you see everything uh, immediately. And you don't see that until you start um, releasing the software, and you start looking at how this software interacts with actual data. So, of course, it poses some inconvenience. But from compliance perspective, this is much safer, so we just have to do it. Plan for role-based access structure without disrupting work. Yeah, so we need to do that, but later. Standardized suggestion framework and vendor compliance negotiations. Okay. Held negotiation meetings with vendors to push for data format standardization. Reviewed contracts with procurement. 2 out of 5 vendors are contractually obliged to comply. 3 are not. So we can force 2 of them, but we can't force 3 of them. And we have this data transformation middleware to auto-adjust non-compliant data format. So we have that. Okay. We don't have conflicts. We have reduced custom pipeline work by 40%. That's good. New standards enforced where possible, automated handling where not. Okay, so we managed to save some of the effort there as well. Hopefully, maybe at least CPI, but maybe SPI as well should improve. Governance alignment, single source of truth. 2 stakeholder alignment meetings agreed on Azure DataLake as central repository. Yay, that's really good. Business and IT still disagree on data validation ownership. So who owns data validation? That's strange. IT should probably own, but yeah. Clear data ownership rules between business analysts and IT. Okay, I need to look at that further because I don't understand uh, what is the data ownership here. What is it about? Escalated product management issue to sponsors. Presented risk of not having structured prioritization. Sponsors assigned a temporary PO to oversee report prioritization. Okay, we have temporary PO. That's much better than nothing. Business now has a single point of accountability for reporting needs. Yeah, so that's really good. I hope this person will step in and actually help us. But this is a very, very tough role. And this person will struggle. I will definitely support this person a lot. Okay, so CPI improved a little bit and SPI also improved a little bit, which is, yeah. We are catching up, but still delayed. Okay, yeah, that's logical. We had a lot of issues unfolding, so let's see how it goes. Just as things start to improve, major executive stakeholder intervenes with an unreasonable request. Senior VP demanded, I don't care about your technical constraints or project delays. I need full real-time financial reporting across all business units immediately. Our competitors have it, and are expected by the next board meeting in 30 days. Make it happen, or this project is irrelevant. If I understand correctly, means that the project is irrelevant, means it's going to be closed. Okay. Key issues with the demand. Real-time reporting was never in scope. This would require a major architectural shift. Okay, so we just can't do it technically. Data lake ingestion is batch-based. So we ingest data in batches, we don't have any API that can, like, we have a real-time streaming. Okay. Team capacity is already tight, and shifting focus could delay all other work. Failure to deliver can erode stakeholder confidence. Yeah. And we have 3 actions remaining. Okay. Yeah. I feel pressure, guys. I really feel pressure managing this project, which is good. That's exactly how you should feel if you're a project manager on a complex project. You need to feel pressured. Okay, I don't care about your technical constraints or project delays. I need a full real-time financial reporting across all business units immediately. Our competitors have it and are expected by the next board meeting in 30 days. Make it happen or this project is irrelevant. Okay.